All right, so today is day number 10 of restarting and scaling my business. And honestly, today is a brutally honest, just boring work day. So what I wanted to do is I want to give you a quick recap on what I've done today, what I'm going to be doing a little bit more today, but then also talk about this book right here, because reality, identity, and beliefs are three things that everyone, including myself, is held back by. And I wanted to share some of my experience when it comes to kind of shifting those and how I'm actually going to have to shift some of the beliefs that I have in my brain right now that I'm aware of that are actually stopping me from getting to the next level in my business. And then maybe you guys can relate, but more so just going to be a rant for myself. All right, so first things first is essentially what I've done today and what I'm going to be doing for today and going into the end of this weekend and whatnot, because it is going to be that time of year where it's very touchy to sell. People are off for Christmas break, and honestly, just not going to be a great time for the acquisition end of the business. So I'll be working a lot on the product. But if you go below this video and any other video on my channel, you will now see the offer that I have. It's publicly launched down there. I won't say anything about it right now. But yeah, that is essentially what I've done today. And then now I'm going to need to be ramping up the daily acquisition efforts, which is a big part about why I probably need to pick back up this book and any other thing that I have when it comes to identity shifting beliefs and overall just how you operate in your brain as a human being. Because if you don't know me, I'm a very introverted person. I honestly, if you just look at my room, I don't got anything in it. It's very minimalist style done, and I sit in this room all day if unless I'm dragged out somewhere. I'm just standing in this room all day, and I've got a lot of beliefs that honestly held me back from getting to the success that I know I was able to achieve and that I know I sought out. So I'm going to be walking through how I actually want to break these limiting beliefs in 2025. And when I say 2025, I mean starting right now. And yeah, just make a big impact. Okay, so to start and actually talk about this, we're going to cover identity, reality, and then finally, we're going to be covering beliefs. So to explain what I mean by all of this, because I don't want this video to be like woo, I want it to be actionable for both myself and anyone watching this. So right now you have goals. Let's say these are your 2025 goals. This is what you want to achieve in 2025, which is over here. Now, essentially the way that your brain functions right now is when you say the word goal, goal means that it is something that you are trying to achieve that you haven't yet achieved, which automatically puts you in a state of lesser being to that thing. That thing is now automatically on a pedestal. You have to go after that thing. It is something that you have to go and get. Now, something that is a little bit ironic about life is that when you try and chase something, it implies that it's running from you and is going to be going further away from you. So what happens is a lot of people, including myself, run after these goals and not much changes, right? They run after the goal and the goal keeps running from them. And because the goal is something that they've put in their mind, the goal runs at the exact same speed as them and we make no progress. Whatever state they were in when they were started, mentally upset, yada, yada, continues on and nothing changes. Now, how we actually change this is we shift our identity, which goes to the second thing that we've got. So identity is going to be this. And essentially, we have our current situation. So in my situation, I'm someone who have scaled a business to a good amount. And what I'm trying to do again is do it in a way where it is organic and it is profit-based and it is in a different fashion where I'm the core marketer. Because my previous business, I was an operations guy. So being a marketer is something that's completely new for me and a completely new skill set. So I have my identity here where I say that I'm all these things. I even just said it if you caught it. I said that I was an operator. And then to actually achieve my goal, if I've been trying to chase after it the way that I kind of have right now, where I try and run at this business goal like an operator, it's not really going to work. What needs to happen instead, and this is where it comes down to reality, which is going to be the third one. I don't know why I didn't put it in order. But reality is instead of saying that I'm an operator, you pretty much just want to scratch all this out. It is not important. And it's partially what this book talks about. Some other books that also talk about this are things like the Master Key System, The Science of Getting Rich, whatnot. But I want to scratch this out and I want to position my new identity and my new way of seeing myself as achieving my goal. Now, to explain what that means, I want to give a full picture. So my 2025 goal is going to be getting to 100K a month profit with this business. That is going to be the 2025 goal that I have set out for myself. And again, that's in profit. So that's going to be very different from revenue, which I've done many times before. So essentially, in order to achieve this, instead of trying to make myself forced to do this with the current paradigms and the current beliefs, which is actually another stage that I have, I want to design my current thinking and my current beliefs in a way that support me living in this reality. So the version of me that gets to my goal, which is the 100K a month personal profit, which again is very different than revenue, and it's very different than having partners in the operation and whatnot. So 100K a month personal profit, I have to identify who does that person look like. So like, who is this person? What do they do? Why do they do it? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And instead of trying to chase after my goal and worry about like, oh, what's the outreach that I need to send? I simply need to figure out what the person that has this thing, because there's people who already have this, there's people who make 100K a month profit and laugh about it, right? And I need to figure out how these people think, what they believe. And then as a result, if I start thinking them and I start believing like them, I'm going to be in the exact same situation as they are. So what these things are, and essentially what the process of doing this is you want to write out all of the beliefs that you have right now. And I titled this limiting beliefs because that's going to be a big part of this. So if I were to do this for myself right now, I'll give you a few examples. I have this social battery belief. And this belief has held me back more than you would know it. I believe to a certain extent that I don't like taking calls or talking to people. And this is honestly not true. I spend lots of time talking to the people who I'm friends with and the people that I say I enjoy speaking with. And honestly, I'm quite a social person with people that I know. But for some reason, the social battery belief, what it's led to in a real world impact is I am averse towards taking sales calls and taking setting calls, like doing appointment setting, reaching out to people, just putting my face out there. It's something that I've been very averse to because, again, this belief stems from whatever thing in my childhood or my life that is now causing me to not want to do this. And obviously, you can have the best product in the world, right? Like I've designed my offer, my product around trying to make this as valuable as possible. But once again, if you can't go through the process of sales and setting, it's going to hold you back. So I've automatically identified that, like, oh, this person does not have the same beliefs around sales and customer acquisition as I do. The big one that I guess should be very important for a lot of the guys watching this, and some that I'm honestly getting quite confident with and I'm getting a lot better dealing with, is the belief of money. So I did not grow up rich. I grew up in a neighborhood where a lot of my friends were rich, but I myself was not rich. And the reason that this is a big belief is because the amount that you perceive money and the way that you perceive money dictates the way that you think about other people giving you money. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that you are on a sales call and someone says, like, oh, yada yada, here's how much I'm willing to invest. And a lot of the time, you're going to throw out a price or you're going to be charging a price that to a certain extent you don't even believe that you're worth. So there was a time where I was like this, where I was charging $8,000 product and I didn't believe I was worth $8,000. So what happened as a result of that is when someone would even, like, these weren't even objections, but someone would ask questions about the product, I would talk myself out of the sale. And it was a subconscious sabotage of me trying to actually collect money because at a certain extent and to a certain part, some gizmo in my mind, I didn't believe that this 16-year-old kid was worthy of collecting $8,000. So you want to break down what all of these limiting beliefs are. And the best way to break down all these limiting beliefs is to go over all the things that you question without, or sorry, that you just take with like absolutely no questions asked and are just true in your mind. So one of the things that I have honestly just kept wrestling with over and over again is routine. To a certain extent, I think that routine is dumb. I think that routine is something that if you honestly have the right mission in place and you're a high performer, no matter what situation you get put in, you're going to be able to perform. That's something that I've always just believed. Now, something that, again, I have to come to terms with in a situation like this is I look at this who thing, and a lot of the time that they're going to actually have a routine. They have a routine where they consistently do things, they consistently go to bed at the same time, they consistently wake up at the same time, and it leads to them actually seeing the success that they do. So again, I have to counter all these beliefs again and again and again. And instead of, after I've created this entire reality, going to myself and saying, hey, I am going to try to do all these actionable efforts and whatnot, whatnot, I'm just going to tell myself that I am the kind of person who does these things. I'm not going to go through the process again of, let's say that here's where I am and this is the goal. You're not going to go through the process of trying to go on this journey. The second that you commit towards going on this journey is the second that you fail. What you need to do is you need to realize, and you almost kind of want to like teleport to your goal and where you are. And then now you exist as that person, and it's just simply a matter of time until you see success. And this is the process of what it takes to actually have radical shifts in your life that are going to lead to you seeing success. I'm saying this, I'm talking about this because I need to have a radical shift to break out of the mold of some operator, because that is the role that I've played. I've played this operator who is hungry, who's willing to do anything to get ahead, but it's led to me not developing the skills that I know I need to develop in situations like marketing and just the overall confidence to stand out there with my chest out and be a business owner. And that is something that if I can conquer, I know it's going to lead to massive success in this entire operation. So honestly, I just wanted to share it because it's a little bit of a rant to myself. I'm going to pick this book again, and hopefully you can take some of the things that I've spoken about in this video, get your limiting beliefs identified, and shift your reality. Because if you can do them, and then if once you've shifted them, create a daily schedule or routine that you would actually follow if you were that person, and just continuously affirmed yourself that you're becoming that person, I can guarantee that that is the way that you're actually going to achieve your goals in 2025, because it's the same way that I'm going to have to. It's the same way I'm going to have to reprogram my mind for success. So I hope that the value you got from this video was worth the time that you spent watching it, and I will see you tomorrow.